Hi, I'm going to show you how to make and decorate some cookies for weddings. Some of them will be on sticks like this and some without. So it's a special recipe you have to use. You have to use a cookie dough that doesn't rise. So this recipe here that I'm showing you now is a really good one to use, and you can alter the flavours for your weddings by adding finely grated lemon rind or orange zest, or vanilla seeds from vanilla pods, or chocolate instead of some of the flour. So when you cream together the butter and sugar, you don't need to beat it like you do to incorporate air for a sponge cake. You just want to cream them together until they're soft, well mixed. Add the egg, half of the flour, and mix it to a paste. And then I put the remaining half of the flour onto the worktop and knead that into the paste, into the cookie dough. Then normally you would put the dough into the fridge for about half an hour. But what I do is I use the dough straight away and mould as many cookies as I want, and then put them onto baking trays and put them into the fridge. Then it's easier to work with and ready to go into the oven. And then your ovens may be slightly different temperature to the temperature I've put, 'cause my oven at home and my oven in work are slightly different. So I've put 140 degrees centigrade or gas mark 2 for between about 8 to 15 minutes, depending on the size of the cookie. But just be careful the first time you make them and see how your oven works with them. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to make the biscuits. Right, so first I'm going to mould the dough into these moulds. I'm going to press it in. So you're going to put some plain flour into the mould, just dust it, and then tap out the excess, and then put the dough in. Now this is the dough before it's been into the fridge, so as you can see it's quite soft and pliable and easy to use. So just get it nice and smooth as you can before you put it into the mould. So we put that into this Hydrangea cupcake. It's actually the Hydrangea cupcake mould, but it's now the Hydrangea cookie mould. So we'll just press that in. These are great for afternoon teas as well, for something special, not just weddings, any sort of party. So there we go, I've pressed that in. I'll actually put a stick into that now to show you how I put the sticks in. These are from PME, the lollipop sticks. They do a couple of different sizes. So if you just press that just about halfway over, okay, and then take another piece of cookie dough and just press it along the back of the stick. On the instructions on the pack, it does say not to put them in the oven, but I do because it's such a low temperature for a short amount of time that the stick doesn't burn, it's fine. Okay, so that will go straight onto the baking tray. Then the other one I'll show you quickly is the large rose. So again, just start to knead your paste, get it nice and smooth. Pop in, press really hard in the centre. Don't worry if it cracks a little. When you press the paste in, those cracks will be sort of joined together again. They'll press in together. So a little bit too much there, and take that off. If you're doing a lot of them, you can weigh the cookie dough before it goes into the mould, so you know you've got exactly the right amount. So that's okay now. I know I've pressed very hard in the centre to get that detail. If you wanted the stick in it, you'd do the same again, put the stick in and a little bit extra paste. I'm so used to cake decorating, I'm forgetting it's cookie dough. So you press that out and you've got a lovely detail on that rose. The flower will go. You don't need to pinch the petals on this like I do with the sugar paste roses. I just leave it as it is. So that's ready to bake as well. So that's the 2 moulded flowers. There are some other moulds, there's plenty of others. This is the 3-rose, triple rose cupcake, which I have got some of these made to show you, and the dahlia, that's a really good one. And it's got a small flower as well, so you can do the small cookies to match the bigger ones. Now with these moulds, this is the Rustic basket weave. I'll just roll a little bit of dough into the centre to show you the effect. You could do the whole piece. If you're doing a lot of cookies, obviously you can do a big piece and do the whole length of the mould, so you get more cookies cut out. They do, that's the problem with these moulds. Things come out so easy. Whatever you put in them, it does come out so easily. So you do this and then you take a cutter and you can cut out so you've got a nice detailed cookie. That does look really nice when it's baked. And another good one is the sugar flowers mould. This is another nice one to do nice detailed cookies. So again, I'll just smooth and flatten down that piece. This time I will put some flour on the back so it doesn't lift on my rolling pin. So again, you could roll, if you wanted to do about 6 or 8 cookies at once, you roll the whole piece, you take that out and cut out. A lot of people used to think that we put the moulds into the oven. You don't, there's no need. Because this dough doesn't rise, they stay more or less as you've put them into the oven. So if you're tempted to try another recipe, just be aware that it might rise. Okay, so these are ready now to rest in the fridge for, I'd say, about 15 minutes. Normally, if it was the whole piece of dough, you'd put it in for half an hour, but 15 minutes just till they firm up, and then they can go in a low oven at about 140 degrees centigrade, gas mark 2. That can change depending on your oven, and the thinner ones will take less time to bake than the thicker ones. So when you've baked your cookies and you've let them cool, they're ready to start to decorate. I've got a few different ways to show you that are very quick and easy. So I'll just get them all out there so you can see them. They're all very floral. I'll start with the rose, this large rose. So if you want to put some colour on and brighten them up a little bit, use some powder colour rubbed into a brush, start in the centre, and then work the colour out gradually to the outer petals. So it's deeper in the centre and paler towards the edge, as little or as much as you want. It's also nice, I think, with a tiny touch of green maybe here and there on the outside. Just a little bit. Okay, and then over the whole flower with some pearl lustre. So use a nice big dusting brush and then just go all over with the lustre. Gives it a really pretty finish. Okay. So of course that could be on a stick like the one I showed you earlier. I've added glitter, but I'll add glitter to the next one to show you how to do that. So this is the Hydrangea Mold. This is a very popular mould and it's lovely for cupcakes. So you could have matching cookies and cupcakes with this one. Now I'm just brushing some green powder very quickly into the centres, over that little centre, not being at all artistic. It doesn't matter that it goes over the edge of the centre, it looks a lot nicer actually if it does. Okay, so that's the green. Then you can put some colours on, whatever colours you would like. So I think we'll have some lilac and blue or pink. And hydrangeas are great flowers. I think you can get away with any colours. And I like to just do a few of them. Okay. We'll have some, I was going to do blue, I think, some blue now. The flat dusting brushes are really good for this because you can just catch the edges of the petals. Okay, just randomly, wherever you want. Leave some plain or whatever, and then again with your lustre, like that. Okay. Now the other thing you can do with this one is add some flowers with some sugar paste on, with some colours. So I've got some colours I did earlier. So I've got a lilac, we'll have to do lilac and blue, I think. So in your mould, if you look for some flowers, just put some cornflower into there. If you look for some flowers that are nice and clear to mould, because you're just moulding one individual flower, so you want the edges to be clearly visible and easy to get to. So if I just press into this flower here, this looks like quite a nice one to do. Okay, that's ready to come out, I think. No, I've missed a bit of the petal there, just be careful. Sometimes it's tricky to see. So that's ready to come out, just turn it over and flick, and you've got your little hydrangea flower. Now you can look for the exact flower, which I think is this one here, and then you would attach that with some glue. You don't have to put it on the same flower, you can put it on a different one if you want. So if I put it there, okay, and I'll colour it in a second. I just wanted to do it the way I showed you first, so you can see you don't have to do this. You can just leave it just powder coloured. So we go into this one here. This is quite a nice deep one. And take that out. And then that will stick into here, to this one. So you do as few or as many as you want to. And you do exactly the same thing now with your green into the centre. So it matches the other flowers. And then put some colour onto the edges. Maybe it would be nice to do blue on the lilac and lilac on the blue. It just sort of brings them in to match the others, and then over with your luster. To finish it. And then again, like I said earlier about the sparkles, you can spray the cookie with a fine mist of water and then take some magic sparkles to sprinkle over the top. I'll just tip some out onto the table there. It was awkward to get my fingers into the pot. And there you've got a lovely cookie for a wedding or afternoon tea or a birthday party. So the others we've got here, we've got these, the single rose and the triple rose. These look really nice and they're very, very quick to do. So if I just do this single rose, because I'll show you what else you can do with the triple rose. So again, the darker colour into the centre, not much towards the edge, then take your green into the leaves. And then I like to go over the whole cookie with some luster. Always be careful not to apply too much at once. That's why you see me sort of gently and lightly just brushing it around first and then go over the whole thing. So you can now leave it like this as it is, or you can brush some glue on and put some magic sparkles, the edible glitter, onto the edge of it. Now the glitter is very important. It is very important that it is edible glitter, not the non-toxic craft glitter that you see for sale in cake shops. You can use it on things that are going to come off your cakes, okay, but this is a food ingredient. It's modified cornstarch, so it is safe to eat. Modified cornstarch is in pizza toppings, gravies, sauces. So that glue has gone on very, very thinly and spread as far as I can, okay? And you've got a lovely glittery cookie now. So just line these up here. So this one, you can actually just put sugar paste into the centre. So if I just pat that on, and I'll use some white paste, a little bit more into the centre here. Well, let's do, actually, we could do a pink, couldn't we? Pink colour. Make it a bit more interesting. So some pink paste, just into the centre, press really hard. This is our own sugar paste, so I know it's not going to stick. If you haven't got ours, you can use sugar paste, other brands of sugar paste, but you will need to add Tylo or CMC to it to firm it up. Okay, so that's ready to come out now. I know I've pressed really hard. I'll get the detail of the roses really well. So just turn it over. If you're doing the cookie, obviously you fill the whole mould with the dough, or a cupcake top. You fill it with the sugar paste. So you can see the detail on the roses there. So I'm just going to brush some green powder into the leaves. It doesn't matter that you can see a little bit of the pink through it there. It's artistic license, I think they call it. So I've just squashed the leaves a little bit by brushing them. So I'll just pinch again and then go over the whole flower. You can dust the roses as well if you want to, make them deeper in the centre. Dust the whole flower with your luster. And then if you want to, you could dust, I'm going to actually attach it to the top of this cookie. So you see that really brings out that basket weave pattern. And then I've forgotten to put out the royal icing, so I'm just going to attach with a little bit of edible glue onto the centre there. And again, if you wanted to, you could spray that and add your Magic Sparkles glitter. So little mist of water and a little sprinkle onto the basket weave just to add that little extra touch. Okay, so this one here, this is the one I cut out with the cutter, do you remember, on the sugar flowers. So again, you would do the same sort of thing here with the green. You could put some green into the centres of some, but I think what would be nice is if I pick out some with gold maybe, or silver into the centres, and then just do whatever colours you want. There's a little rose there, so we'll do a pink rose. There's some blossoms. So it's just a case of putting your colours wherever you want them. I mean, obviously you can just do them all one colour if you want to, or you could do what I did earlier with the hydrangea and mould some individual little flowers to put some sugar paste flowers on top as well. And then maybe a little blue. So it just makes them a little bit different, doesn't it? And it's these are so nice to do as gifts. You know, you could do them in a nice little box or something for someone. And then I'll brush with the luster again to bring out that detail. There you go. And like I say, it would be nice with a little painting, a little bit of silver or gold into the centres of some of the flowers as well. And last but not least is this dahlia mould I moulded earlier. You can put some sugar paste into this as well to do the centre petals. So if I take some lilac, I'm just going to put the paste into this centre here. So let's see. If I just start to press the paste in to these 5 petals in the middle. Okay, if it looks a little bit thin, add some. If it's too much, just push it to the edge and take off with your fingers. So that's ready to come out now. So just turn it over and press, and you've got the centre for your petals there to go in the centre. So I'm just going to apply some edible glue. And then work out which way. I think it might be, yep, that way. Work out which one was which. Into the centre there. Now this would look really nice with some lilac powder to go with the petals. Just onto these edges here. Again, this would be another nice one to put the stick, the lollipop stick in the back. They're great also for doing, not just for weddings. You know, you see like the cupcake bouquets now. Well, you could do the cookie bouquets, do it that way. They're great if you have like a nice pot, a decorative pot, and put some styrofoam or oasis in the bottom and put them all on sticks. And you can do it like a nice plant, cookie plant. There's lots of possibilities, and obviously they're great for sweet tables. A lot of weddings now have the sweet tables, don't they? So they're great for those as well. Okay, so that's the luster all over, and then we go back to our gold again for the centre. could just use water because you're not waiting for this to dry to paint over it. So, and there's your little gold centre in the middle. I hope you found this video useful. We've got lots of other videos on the website, including more cookie videos. We've got cookies for celebrations and cookies for Christmas with lots of ideas. So it's at www.karendaviescakes.co.uk. Thank you.